Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Okay, so one fight that seems to be going on for ages is finally here in Dubai this weekend. Hafthor Bjornsson versus Eddie Hall. Both of these, of course, former world's strongest men. This beef seems to have gone back to 2017 when Eddie Hall, he won the world's strongest man. Bjornsson, again, according to Eddie Hall, didn't take the defeat too well. He was making up excuses, and rather than giving Eddie Hall credit, was having digs about certain parts of the competition that weren't quite right and whatever else. And these guys were, as far as I can gather, pretty close up to that point. Anyway, that said, Bjornsson, he wins the world's strongest man the following year anyway. And of course, Thor has gone on to be the Mountain in Game of Thrones and all that kind of stuff. So both of these guys very, very successful. Do they need the money to fight each other? No. But there does seem to be quite a lot of beef surrounding them. So it's a fight that people are interested in, that is for sure. Now, who's going to win this fight? It's difficult to say, it really is. Now, if you look at, say, Thor, he's got all the attributes to win this fight. He does. He's tall. He's much taller than Eddie Hall. So therefore, he's going to have longer legs. And of course, he's going to have that longer reach. And he's a southpaw. Eddie Hall, though, will pose his own problems for Thor because he's shorter. He's going to have to duck down almost like a Mike Tyson style. And anybody who knows that if you're a tall fighter, the worst thing in the world to be doing is fighting a much shorter fighter because you're having to punch down. Okay. Now, of course, they're not professional boxers, but again, of what I've seen of footage of both of them, it does appear that Thor does appear to be more of the boxer. Eddie Hall seems to be somewhat of a brawler. Now, as you know, anybody who watches boxing, a good boxer will beat the brawler. That's how you beat the brawler, by boxing them. But at the same time, how do you beat a boxer? By brawling them, making them feel uncomfortable. So it's going to have that counter reaction when it comes to each other. It is going to be a 6-round fight, and hopefully for both of their sakes, that if this fight does go deep, as far as 6 rounds can possibly go, then hopefully they haven't just been doing 6 rounds of sparring. Again, anybody who knows anything about boxing, if you're doing, say, 4 rounds, a 4-round fight, then you should be sparring for 6 or 8 rounds for stamina reasons. If you're doing a 6-rounder, try and spar 8 to 10 rounds each time, and so forth and so forth. So if they've only been doing 6 rounds, and they can say, well, I've been doing 6 rounds, no problem with sparring, it's not really an issue, because again, they're big guys. In other words, their muscles will sap energy very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. But it's one thing to do it in the gym. It's one thing to do it in sparring. On fight night, you're going to get adrenaline dump. When you have that adrenaline dump, and it isn't because you're unfit, and it's because of the occasion. It's because of the emotion. Now, when it comes to the emotion of this particular rivalry, it does appear that Eddie Hall is the one who's more emotionally vested in this fight. So any kind of game plan could just go way out the window. And just turns into be a bit of a slugfest. Now, I expect potentially both guys to even hit the canvas in this fight. I can't really see it going to 6 rounds, but hey, listen, you never know. You never know. But for me, the one who's going to win this fight will be the one who has their game plan and sticks to their game plan. Who stays calm, stays relaxed. Not too relaxed. Okay? Because again, a lot of fighters, especially when they're starting to feel the pressure, the fight's here, it's finally here, they tense up. When you tense up, that's when you lose a lot of energy. Look at Tyson Fury, for example. He's very, very relaxed, very, very chilled. That's why he's got the stamina, because he's relaxed. But you can't be over-relaxed, because when you get hit, you'll just fold like jelly. Okay? Now, emotionally, Eddie Hall, it does appear that he's the emotional one when it comes to this particular fight. Thor, he has been on the stage before, so he has boxed in front of crowds. In fact, he boxed a guy who I know very well, not very well, but fairly well, in Salman Vallily. I've seen Salman Vallily spar countless rounds. In fact, I was there on his final sparring session before he fought Thor in that exhibition fight. That was deemed as a draw and everything like that, but it wasn't about the win. It wasn't even about the performance. It was about Thor getting used to fighting in front of a crowd, because he'll be fully aware of the adrenaline dump. Now, again, let's be real, Simon Vallily could have beaten Thor if he really wanted to. But clearly there was some kind of deal there. I don't know that for a fact, but I mean, I know Simon well enough to know when he's backing off, okay? But the point is, Thor is used to fighting in front of a crowd now. Eddie Hall, not. Now, you could be used to lifting the weights and doing the Atlas stones and all that kind of stuff in front of crowds and speaking in front of crowds, that's fine, but fighting is totally different. When you're getting hit back, when you're worried about getting hit, these guys are big guys, and because they're big guys, their endurance won't be great. It won't be, and that's not a dig at either one of them, that's just how it is. The more muscle you have, the more vulnerable you are. And that's exactly how it is with both of these. Now, of course, both of them won't be at their world's strongest man kind of weight. Of course not. Both of these will be coming much lighter compared to what they would normally be. In theory, Thor should be heavier. If Thor isn't that much heavier than Eddie Hall on the scales, I think Eddie Hall could be in trouble. I think he could be. Eddie Hall needs to be a fair bit lighter than Thor. He really does. Now, these guys will probably get into the clinches and try and see who's kind of stronger in the clinches. You don't need to, okay? This is not a macho kind of strength competition. This is a boxing match. The body shots could well be key. Eddie Hall, as I said before, is quite shorter, so the body shots could well be key. But again, him fighting a southpaw, has he been sparring southpaws? I imagine he has. One thing I will say, that if you're a Thor fan, you should be a little bit concerned, is the fact that when I see Thor sparring and when I see him doing shadow boxing, he's punching up. He's punching up. Especially with the shadow boxing, he's punching up. Shadow boxing is all about creating muscle memory. That's what it's about. Of course, it's about loosening up and all that kind of stuff as well. Eddie Hall is not higher than Thor. He's not bigger than Thor. So quite why Thor is punching up in the air, I don't know. He should be punching down, because Eddie Hall, I imagine, will be, of course, because he's quite a lot shorter, really, but he's going to be crouching down even more. And Eddie Hall should do that. If he doesn't do that, he could walk onto something quite easily. So Thor should be fighting somebody who's quite shorter, a lot shorter actually. But as far as who's going to win, I mean, it's anybody's fight. It really is. And because they're both big guys, I mean, I imagine that Eddie Hall will probably come in around about 340 to 350 pounds. Thor probably come in around 360, 370, I imagine. But because of that, because they're still big guys, as much as they have slimmed down compared to their competition days, they're still going to get very, very tired, and an injury could happen at any point in the first round or anything, because one of them, they're not warmed up properly, they overextend. These things happen. They do, especially with big guys. But who's going to win? To be honest with you, I have absolutely no idea. Now, Billy Nelson, he's in the corner of Thor. I'm not too sure why Billy Nelson is in the corner of Thor, to be honest with you. But either way, Billy, of course, he's got the experience. Of course, he's there with Martin Bacoli and what have you as well. So Martin Bacoli, as we know, he is a very, very good fighter. Billy Nelson is a very good coach. But I don't know how that combination came together. I have absolutely no idea. So what I'm trying to say to you, I'm not saying it's the wrong combination. I'm saying I don't know how they got together. But it's going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting. Apparently, it's free to watch as well, because it was going to be pay-per-view as far as I'm aware. But now it's actually going to be free to watch. But obviously, it'll be over there in Dubai. I don't know anything about the undercard or anything, so I couldn't tell you. Anyway, who do you think is going to win? Eddie Hall or Thor Bjornsson? Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up. Subscribe. Catch you on the next video.